My name is Aditya Sen. Today, I want to talk about something we all face, no matter our age. That feeling when negative thoughts attack us like a beast, eagerly waiting to attack its prey. It happens when we least expect it, and it can feel overwhelming. Raise your hand if you felt in your mind fear of the known, or maybe even fear of the unknown. Anger or hurt caused by a friend or family member. Helplessness when your emotions seem to crash, leaving you confused. Stress from trying to juggle too many tasks at once. Friends, these are times when one's brain just won't stop overthinking about all that could go wrong. It's important to understand, then identify, then label this emotion. Let's call it the vocabulary of emotions. Put simply, our brain is playing mind games with us by sabotaging our higher goals in life. The brain, when uncontrolled, has a tendency to suddenly go rogue. According to Lord Krishna, the mind is naturally restless and difficult to control, but it can be brought under control through conscious effort. Meditation, simple minded focus, and even a walk amidst the flora and fauna of nature. A mind under control is our best friend, but a mind out of control is our worst enemy. Here's an interesting factoid that I would like to highlight that on average, the monkey mind, that the 6 out of 10 thoughts that the monkey mind throws up originate from our suppressed fears or insecurities. It is in the subconsciousness of our mind, which is a reservoir of all of our collective experiences, whether those experiences are happy or sad, joyous or fearful. All of us need to become conscious on how to sift the wheat from the chaff, how to segregate the positive thoughts from the noise and clutter of the unproductive thought patterns. This can only happen through mindful awareness. You and I are captains of our ship, so why would we let the steering wheel slip out of our control? Now, what I am stating is endorsed by scientific evidence that on average, the human mind throws up 12 to 50,000 thoughts randomly each day. Can you imagine how many of those are unchannelized thoughts striking us like bazookas or demons from hell? That's a lot of negativity. And if you keep listening to it, it compounds into a monster, which could make you go into an overthinking loop, which could snowball into an avalanche so fierce and destructive that it could overwhelm your rational thinking and creativity. Within each of us, there is a duality, as both the devil and the divine dwell in us. Our goal must be to strive for the higher force that dwells in us so that we, so that we dominate our lower selves. This can only happen through conscious awareness and mindfulness. Now, you may be thinking, how, at such a young age, while also being a student, can I talk about something as complex as overthinking? Let me tell you a little bit about my journey. There were days when I'd lie in bed, staring at the ceiling, thinking about all that could possibly go wrong. What if I messed up my school project? What if I had a fight with my friends? What if I had thought attacks like FOMO, fear of missing out, when my friends didn't include me in their fun birthday party? I would think and think until brain rot fatigued me, not allowing me to sleep. But here's the catch. Thoughts control you until you learn to control them, as Lord Krishna advised Arjuna in the Mahabharata. Enough was enough. I needed to unlearn my old destructive behavior and replace it by learning new techniques so that I was the master of my brain and not a victim of its random thoughts. I needed to be self taught and self motivated on how to overcome destructive thought attacks. I first learned through trial and error on how to distract my mind. And when I say distract, I don't mean ignoring or suppressing my problems. I mean indulging in another activity that grabs your attention so that your mind doesn't have space left for negative thoughts. For me, what was the most rewarding, uplifting, and therapeutic was playing football in the park with my friends. reading my favorite book, or listening to my favorite music. And guess what? It really works. Studies have shown that when you distract yourself, it helps break the cycle of overthinking by shifting your attention to something of a higher purpose. Like any physical activity or sport, it raises your dopamine levels, which is the feel good happy hormone. Here's why this is important. Mental health, overthinking isn't just destructive, it's emotionally paralyzing. It can lead to many mental health issues, such as depression, anxiety, and even OCD. And your mental health affects everything else: your physical, emotional, and even spiritual well being. Think about your mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual well being as the four foundational pillars that help you attain an optimal state of being. If one pillar is weak, it affects the entire foundation. So that's why it's so important to take care of your thoughts. So, how do you block negative thoughts? Firstly, distract yourself. Go outdoors, play a sport, learn a new hobby or skill. Just do something you enjoy because your brain is focused on what you're doing. So keep it busy with something positive. Secondly, stay in the present. The most negative thoughts originate from worrying too much about the future or regretting too many past decisions. When you focus more on the right now, those thoughts have less power over you. Thirdly and lastly, remind yourself of this factoid that just because you're overthinking doesn't make it a reality. Negative thoughts are just like a bad movie. You don't have to believe everything you see on the screen. Friends, here's one last thing to remember that every leader and writer has always approached that only once you control your thoughts can you control your life. Thank you.